Hello my friend, here is a video on Simone Weil on existential freedom in my series on existential freedom for the publication of my book Beginning to Live, the Art of Existential Freedom. When you read my book, you will find that I am quite sympathetic to Simone Weil's view of existential freedom. She, very unlike Sartre and de Beauvoir, sought to not expand the I in order for us to be more free. It wasn't about choosing more or asserting one's will more. For Simone Weil, freedom is in fact the opposite. It is the transcendence of the I that is of value and that brings existential freedom. She says that freedom is often just a slave-like obedience to your desires or to social pressures. To go around the world doing various things that everybody else does too. Is that freedom, or is that compulsive obedience to what is seen as proving your freedom? She moves her attention from focusing on willpower to focusing on intentionality, which she often calls attention. And I've spoken about that before. Attention is the most precious thing you can offer to another person, but it is also the most precious thing you can do for yourself to learn to be properly attentive of the world around you. Weil argued that modern humans often mistakenly believe that freedom is doing what you want, but that actually human existence is governed by what she calls gravity, la pesanteur, the heaviness of life. The natural psychological and physical forces that pull you towards selfishness, towards ego, towards searching for power. She uses the metaphor of the stone that must fall, obeying the laws of gravity. In the same way, the human mind falls naturally downwards towards revenge, pride, greed, imitation, competition, all sorts of things like that. And true freedom is the ability to act against this gravity. It's not the power to do anything you like, but the power to do the good. Bit of Plato here. For while a person is only free when their actions are a direct response to the necessity for truth. Truth is a very important concept for Weil, and she distinguishes between liberty and license. License is the ability to follow each of your whims and to really become a slave to yourself. Whereas liberty is the state where the obstacles we face are understood, are worked with, are practiced, and are mastered through that work and through our thoughtful understanding of what is involved. In her work, The Need for Roots, She argues that freedom requires limitations, just as a poem requires a structure and is only really possible because of the rules of meter and rhyme. Human freedom is only possible within a framework of rules and obligations, but not any kind of rules and obligations. These rules and obligations need to be attuned to what is true and to what is aligned with life. So, whereas the existentialists want to create a stronger self, Simone Weil wants to decreate it. Decreation for her is the act of undoing the I, so that the world can be perceived as it truly is, without the distortion of too many personal biases and cravings. And you get your freedom when you do this, because true freedom is arrived at via attention. It is the negative effort of turning your attention away from the self towards something that is of greater value than that. So you are free in the moment you do that. If you focus on your art, or you focus on your psychotherapy client, or you focus on another, or even you focus on your manual labor, there comes a point where you are so attuned to the tools, the materials, the other people, the laws, the process, that you release yourself from your attention being just on you. And you find that you are aligned, consenting to the laws of the universe. And this is a wonderful experience, in the same way in which you learn to sail your boat, knowing about the rules of the wind and the streamings and the tides. In that same way, you can learn to live your life. Liberty is therefore not just the ability to choose, it is the ability to choose wisely and to choose the good, and this is always done in obedience to truth, which is the highest form of liberty. You will find that this resonates greatly with my own writing.